is that the big fire or big whatever it was? I'm going to call the License Hearing and Public Safety Committee to order. First thing on the agenda, call to order. Did that. Roll call. Alderperson Ackley is excused. Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Here.
Alderperson Salazar.
Here.
Pledge of Allegiance, stand if you are able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to have introduction of committee members, staff, and guests. And Amanda, we'll start with you and we'll work this way.
Sure. I am Alderperson Amanda Salazar, District 3.
Chuck Adams, City Attorney.
Barb Feldy, District 1, and President of the Council and Chair of this committee.
Dean Decker, Alderperson from District 6.
Joe Hyman, Alderman District 10.
Bailey Tucker, Watershed Hotel.
Ryan Bramlett is Madison Quality College Precinct 5.
Tim Burcham, Hi, Dave Engelbringer, Historic Sheboygan Sonic Lodge Foundation.
Kathy Hoffman, City Attorney's Office.
Joe Bailey, representing Motion.
Chad Pelshik, City Director.
All right, thank you, everyone. I need approval of the minutes from November 16th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Chair votes aye. Motion passes. We have a presentation by potential applicants for available Class B alcohol beverage licenses. Chuck, I'm going to let you take that over.
Yeah, so we'll start with just the presentations, and then when we get to the discussion and action, I'll have a few other things. There are up to 2 available licenses. One is definitely available, one is tentatively available. And I believe all 6 maybe that we're talking about presenting are here. So you can take them in whatever order you'd like.
Anybody brave who want to go first? Okay, thank you. If you step up to the lectern right there.
Make sure to turn their mic on.
Oh, is that not?
Which mic is this? That one?
Yeah. It's a, oh, oh.
There.
Turn this one off. Thank you.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Matt Sukwati. I've lived and worked in Sheboygan County for the last 31 years. We are opening a golf simulator bar / restaurant right here in Sheboygan. Ryan Granlick, Justin Goosen, and myself had the idea one night when we had nothing to do in the winter months. With all of us having a passion for golf and nothing to do in the wintertime, we came up with the idea of opening a place you can golf 365 days out of the year. For everyone who doesn't know what a golf simulator bar is, it is an indoor golfing facility where you can golf full year-round virtual golf. In Sheboygan, we do not have many places to take family, friends out to a place that offers entertainment for all ages. With Golf 365, we can offer a family-friendly place for people to go eat, play golf, or just hang out. It is big enough to host birthday parties, group events, or a place just to hang out that's not just your typical bar. So it will also, besides offering golf, it will also offer like a soccer, virtual soccer, baseball, things along those lines with that technology as well. Sheboygan County has 16 golf courses for that golfers of all ages can enjoy. With winter months being so long, Golf 365 can offer an area for golfers to continue working on their game all winter long. It also helps to continue working on their golf game and give them the confidence to continue golfing into the next season. With Sheboygan growing at a rapid pace, this will help bring revenue into Sheboygan and help other local companies grow as well. We've already talked to a couple other bar owners and companies, and we're going to work together and try to put something together there. The cost of coming to our facility is affordable for people to play. It'll be less time consuming and cost less than your average round of golf.
And just to elaborate on a couple points that Matt had, just some specifics for you guys to know. We'll be open 7 days a week during the week from 10:30 a.m. to about 10 p.m. and then on the weekends from about 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. In addition to simulation rental per bay, we're going to have club sales, food and drink, lessons available, space to hold private events, club rentals and things of that nature. And then just a couple things that this might benefit Sheboygan County. It'll be a unique employment opportunity for local residents. We'll be looking to hire 5 to 10 additional employees in addition to us 3. Obviously, increased tax base for the community. We want the money that is spent there to stay here. Shop local is a big thing for us, like Matt said. We're going to be working with local businesses for supplies and other things of that nature. We're hoping to partner with local schools, golf teams, recreational time outside of school, and it just overall competition in the Sheboygan areas. At the end of the day, good for the consumer to keep prices affordable and increase the quality and service to make it consistent as well. We're going to have tournaments throughout the season to include charitable giving as part of that. Just again, to go back in line with giving back to our local community and shopping local.
Thank you guys for your time today. Hope you consider us for a place so you can see yourself, family, friends to come hang out. I just want to see if you guys have any questions for us at all.
Thank you. Questions? Okay, ladies first. Amanda, go ahead.
Is your mic on?
Oh. Maybe we should just keep these.
Keep her on.
Okay, so question, I have like 3 real quick, okay? So, opening date, are you open already, or when do you plan to open?
We plan to open mid-February.
Mid-February of 2023?
Yes, 20.
Okay, and sort of what are you for opening date, it's just like final touches on getting the screens ready, or are you waiting on your license specifically?
We will have everything that we need, the screens and all the projectors and stuff, before Christmas. So we're kind of going to wait on a liquor license. It's not contingent to us opening, but
Sure.
it would definitely help. So.
Okay, and then capacity for the space? How many can you fit?
We're going to have 5 simulator bays available up to, they say up to 8
Okay.
per bay, but kind of like golf, or bowling, if you have 8, you know, it's not necessarily everyone's gonna have.
And then the
ample
building
time.
capacity? Like how many can you fit in there for private rentals?
Between 50 and 75.
Okay. And then my last question, sorry, is, so you said something about food? So is it bar and food menu? Is it, what are we,
Yeah, just like small appetizers, things like pizzas, cheese curds, that kind of stuff.
yeah, okay. Good, the good stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, that's all my questions.
Okay,
Alderperson
my
Decker.
question, where is it gonna be located?
It's located at the old Game On building on Indiana and Taylor. So it's the old CarQuest building.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
okay, yeah.
Yep, we took that
That's it.
over from
Okay.
Justin Webb, yep.
Okay, great. And Amanda asked, I think, the other questions that I had, so when you're gonna be opening. Chuck, I got one question for you. What is the time frame that we would have, if we would grant somebody like this a license, would they be able to?
We typically give 7 to 10 days for them to apply, and then that way it comes to the next meeting. And then you can decide how quickly you want them to open from getting it.
Okay.
You know, and then from there, we go from there.
Okay, great.
I did have a question too, Barb.
Okay.
You
Go ahead.
mentioned not just golf, but potentially baseball.
Correct.
So it's really weird, but have you reviewed section 12507 sub 3 sub A sub 3, which has different standards if you have baseball for whether underage people can be on the premises?
That I do not. It doesn't have to be something that we put in there. It was just an option for birthday parties or.
It's crazy, but I think it's because they added things at different times. But if you have baseball and golf, you're only allowed to have beer. You can only get a Class B beer. But if it's just golf simulators, you can have a full license. So you may want to skip the baseball, unfortunately. Or
That's easy enough.
Or get the legislature to
But I
change the.
like the baseball, so.
I do too, but
Good thing the name isn't Baseball 365.
All right.
especially,
We'll put a
and that
different
is
building
if you're
for
gonna
that.
let people under 21 in,
Okay,
because that's the issue. You mentioned high school golf teams and things, so.
That's a weird.
It is strange.
Officer Adam, he has a question.
I do actually, maybe Chuck can answer this best, because that was my question about underage people. Is there like an exception for this premises because of the amusements?
A golf, so there's some specific entities where you don't have to follow the underage rules and sort of like restaurants. And one of those is golf simulator facilities, yeah.
I guess then a follow-up question for them. So if you will have underage people, what are your plans to make sure that they're not being served alcohol?
Well, obviously, we're gonna card. I went through the alcohol class, and we're gonna have different stuff in play for that. And then an area, if you are gonna be golfing, we do have a blocked off area. That's actually a private bay where they'll be able to play in, and then it'll be heavily monitored as far as the alcohol stuff goes.
Could you repeat that into the microphone?
Oh, yes. So we will have a private bay, and we have a couple things that we looked up as far as checking IDs. So it's not just gonna be someone looking at the door. You're gonna scan IDs. And also, we do have a private bay. So if we do have like a high school team or something coming in, we can put them in that private room where it's gonna be monitored, where they can't just access the bar.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Joe, go ahead.
His mic.
Just hold on, you turned off your mic.
Okay, what's the rate per hour?
The rate is $35 an hour on the weekdays and $45 on the weekends.
Gotcha, thank you.
Any other? Okay, Attorney Adams, do we need to?
No, now you gotta get the
Yep.
next
Next
one.
one?
next one's-
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Who is next? Who wants to be next?
I'll go.
Okay. Hi.
Thanks. I'm going to be very brief. I inadvertently double booked myself for this evening. But anyway, I'll make my case and then let you ponder that. Anyway, I'm Dave Engeldinger, representing, like I said, the historic Sheboygan Masonic Lodge Foundation. We're a private, actually a public charity. We are a charitable organization. We're located at the former VFW building at 1138 Union Avenue. Many of you are probably familiar with the big Masonic mansion over on 4th and St. Clair. About 2 years ago, we ended up moving out of that building just because the cost of repair was astronomical. And we bought the former VFW building to house the foundation and make that the home of the Lodge 11 of the Sheboygan Masons. As we are a private foundation, and since the building, many of you also know, does have a bar in the basement, I would like to pursue a club liquor license so that as an organization, we can open it up to members and guests and use it as a means of income to fund our charitable activities in the area. So that is why I'm here today.
Would you be open to the public?
No. No, we're specifically, many years back, I was a member of the Riverview Club here in Sheboygan, and looking to model, the Masonic Lodge Foundation area similar to that, to the Riverview and Pine Lodge and some of the other private clubs in the area. So it would be open to members and guests. We would envision also having it available for rentals to the public, but supervised by one of the foundation members. So again, it's not open to the public. It's just another means of income to help fund the purchase of the building so that we can continue our charitable activities here in Sheboygan.
Two are potentially available. One is definitely available, two are potentially available.
What do you mean by potentially?
Okay, do we have a
One is
question?
in litigation.
Okay.
What was that?
One is in litigation.
Okay. Questions?
Any questions right away?
Chuck asked the question I was going to ask, were you open to the public, I
Okay.
guess, so that was all.
Great. Thank you
No,
for your time.
ma'am. All right. Thank you. Are there any others? You can go to that lectern over on the side right there.
Does this one have an HDMI cord?
No, you have to, wait, it does.
Yeah,
If I can get it turned on, you can.
it was on before.
I know.
Hold the counselor staff.
Is there
Maybe
maybe
there's too
many
many
mics on? There it goes. Now it's on, yeah. There was too many lights, there was too many mics on.
Yeah, it's on. But you had to click this one too.
Help arrived.
Is it plugged in?
How come mine went off? Well, everybody's went off.
That's all I got.
I don't know where it plugs in
Yeah,
the
it's giving us a
bottom.
black screen, which is probably a screen issue on your laptop.
My screen is up.
Chad sounds like somebody with experience on that.
You're so helpful.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, it was there.
Nice job, Mayor.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Well, it's been a few meetings since I last presented, so I thought I would do the whole thing again for you guys. So Watershed Hotel, we have 3 owners, myself, my father, and Paul Weaver. I am a Sheboygan resident now for 2.5 years. I live in the condos right next door, so I know the area very well. I've been in hospitality for 12.5, weddings and events specifically for 6.5, and hotels for 2.5 years by this point. Our hotel is a luxury boutique 25-room hotel with an outdoor event pavilion that overlooks the second bend of the Sheboygan River. We opened August 1st, so we're almost 4 months old. It's been going really well. You guys kind of know the layout, but we have extended stay rooms. We have king suites. We're out to throw in there rooms with 2 queen beds, and then we have 2 bridal suites as well. And a little bit about the rooms. There's some photos because I didn't have them available last time. This is our executive suite or bridal suite. So this suite is 600 square feet. Every room in our hotel can sleep 4, whether it's a king bed or 2 queen beds, a king bed and a pull-out queen sofa, I mean. And then just our bridal suite has some extra vanities for people getting ready there. Our bar and pavilion. So our bar has 36 seats right there all the time, but it can seat up to 80. Our pavilion can seat up to 200 or over 200 people. I only have chairs and tables for 200, so that's why I put 200, but we can fit more. And then our lobby can seat 80 people as well. If we get the Class B and we can actually run our bar like a normal bar, we would have our bar hours from 5 to 10, 7 days a week, because we always have somebody on staff with a liquor license. The last one is actually in review right now, so then all of our members will have a bartender's license, I mean. So we're good to go there. Sorry. But this is a little bit about our lounge. Right now, we just have it set up how we normally do, but for weddings and events, we can move anything in there to make it whatever people want it to look like. So eventually, we would like 40 weddings per year, but we can also hold trade shows. We've held some birthday parties. We've held some baby showers already, some bridal showers. We've done some of our own Packer/Wisconsin sport parties. Tonight, we have a Polish World Cup party. So we can do a lot of different things there. Benefits to Sheboygan. I'm not going to read through all this because I've done it before, but I just want to state as of November 29th, so yesterday, we've already collected $13,824.53 in taxes for Sheboygan itself through our room tax and our, obviously, county tax. So we have not even been at the occupancy that we would like to be at. In the summer, we were averaging about 65. Now we average about 40. So next year, even better. In total for Wisconsin, I'm putting it all together, we have collected a total of $18,081.01. So obviously, we are benefiting Sheboygan itself with the room tax and bringing more guests to Sheboygan. There's a picture of our hotel in the summer when it's nice and pretty. Our pavilion at night, fun to play in. And then our back area where we have people who often sit and drink beer and look at the pretty river and sunset, because the sunset right across the river behind Kiwanis Park. And then why we deserve it. So obviously you all know we've been applying to apply for over a year now. We've been passed over twice while licenses were held in reserve. Last time I was asked if we were willing to return the Class A license. Once the Class B license we have been accepted, we are more than willing to return that because the Class B, as you guys have told me, will cover what the Class A did plus a little bit more. I personally started advertising for events on September 1st. That's when I opened up our Event Detective site and a few other websites. And slowly we've been building up Facebook and Instagram. And this year, so far, we have booked 7 events. We have already run 5 of them. We got one tonight. We got another one in a few weeks. And that's only been in a few months. Next year, I have 5 events for weddings already contracted out, with 6 more potentials that I've given tours to. So as you can see, we are growing in a matter of months. And I already have a wedding booked for 2024. So we do have a need for it. We can survive on a Class A. People look at me really, really weirdly when I have to explain why we have that in our rules with that. But we have overcome it so far with the events we've been doing. But we could thrive with the Class B and make our business even better. For both Sheboygan itself and obviously for us. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Any questions?
I guess I can ask.
From that way?
That's one.
Okay, Alderperson Decker.
Do you think that this has hindered you at all so far?
100%. Every single time I give a tour, people ask me what does it mean to describe ourselves as a liquor store with the Class A, and I have to explain the difference between Class A's, Class B's. Obviously, that turns into a 20-plus conversation about how we can do alcohol at a wedding. We have come up with solutions. We are pretty resourceful, but it does definitely hinder it. It does cause the bride and groom to reconsider, especially for weddings, how they can get alcohol to their guests. Even if I tell them we can do closed beers, closed wine, it's still really weird and awkward to constantly have that conversation. This week alone, I gave 4 tours to potential people, potential events, whatever, and they all look at me like I am insane when I try to describe why we don't have a Class B and what the Class A will do for them. So I really, really do think this impacts our business, what we can bring to the community, and what we can bring in for weddings and events ourselves. Any other questions?
Any other? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Come on up.
Small impact, start over here.
Wait, is there one for everyone?
There's not.
Okay.
It's just gonna be a-
Can I take this?
I mean, I think he wants you to look at it, but then it'll end up with
Okay.
Barb. You should keep
Sure.
it. Okay.
I'm Joe Bonelli. I represent Mojo. I've owned and operated the Mojo 1235 building since 2004. I'm born and raised in Sheboygan. I've been in the service industry for over 25 years. Mojo is just a fantastic staple in the city. The building itself has been a tavern, as far as back as we can go, back to 1880. And then there is some documentation in there where we've had people who come and give us letters and tell how their family ran it. And then in there, in the packet, you'll see how we've renovated the building from top to bottom. We actually saved the building from being demoed in 2004 and have done an extensive remodel top to bottom. We're actually wrapping up another renovation right now to the west elevation where we've added some windows and doors and just went through architectural review on that. The upstairs is part of the Mojo, but we call it Salute, so we do private events up there. In the packet, you'll also see that we have a full menu of food where it's a craft menu where it's going to be pizzas and burgers and wraps and salads. It's just a fantastic building, and we're looking to reopen. We made it through COVID. We're looking to open back up and to get to a point where we're open 365 again.
Do we have any questions? Your package hasn't gotten down to the last two
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
I guess I got a couple.
Okay, Alderperson Decker?
First of all, if you would get this, when would you open? I mean, when would-
ASAP. We should be able to do, like I said, we're just wrapping up a renovation right now, and I would like to be open before the end of the year.
Okay, you would make a commitment to staying open?
Absolutely.
Fully open all the time?
Fully open.
365?
Yep, that is our goal, to be open
Okay.
365, yep.
Okay, and I do, is bar for sale?
It is not for sale.
It was for sale, though, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Joe? No?
That was my question, Dean asked it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll send this down. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak? All right.
Hi, my name is Richard Halverson. I'm representing Harbor Bar and Grill, 905 Indiana in Sheboygan.
Could you repeat that and do it a little louder, please?
Okay. My name is Richard Halverson.
Thank you.
I'm representing Harbor Bar and Grill, which is at 905 Indiana Avenue here in Sheboygan. As you know, we've made quite much of an investment on the site. We've done pretty much everything that the city of Sheboygan has asked of us. We're branding the gas station part as an Amoco station. Currently, we're just waiting on the signage, the kind of sign that the Amoco site will have. Right now, we have a Class B beer license. We're requesting Class B liquor license. We've got a few bars in the neighborhood. We need to step up or compete a little bit more with them. People that come into our place, because we do serve food and we do serve beer, they ask if we have any kind of mixed drinks or if we have any, like shots or anything like that. We don't. And that's a lot of people make them just turn around and walk out. It's not like most bars around the neighborhood. It's not, dimly lit, that kind of atmosphere where everybody wants it. It's very bright in ours. We try to accent more on the food that we serve. Once we get the signage up, which will help a lot because we're sort of set a little bit back, that'll help a lot with that in the sales of like the food and everything. But right now, yeah, competition is tough. I hope you understand the business competition around the area. Obviously, I'm sure you do. And the survival need that we would like to get that license. Any questions?
Any questions?
None for me.
I have one.
Amanda?
So can you help clarify this for me? The Harbor Bar is connected to the gas station? And so is it a bar or a gas station, or both?
Oh, we have the gas stations separate from the Harbor Bar and Grill.
It's in the same building, but it's separated by a wall?
Yep.
Okay. So one part facilitates the gas exchange, purchasing of like a normal mini mart, and then the other piece is a bar specifically?
It's a bar and grill. We do have a restaurant. We do serve food. We can seat people.
Okay, and how many people can you fit in the restaurant?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's listed as like 50 to 70.
50 to 70?
50 to 75.
Okay.
Something like that. It's not huge by any means, but.
And then the gas station and bar are open bar hours, so you would be open, say, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m.? Or what time?
We're usually open around 9 or 10 a.m. till, currently right now, we're only open till 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Because that's about the same time that the gas station actually closes down.
And with this license, you see yourself staying open till 2 in the morning? Or you close
That's
it?
possible.
Okay. Are you open 7 days a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
The other name I had down was Eric Rowland, but he must not be here, so.
We've exhausted the.
So I think we've exhausted the applicants. So that brings you to number 7, discussion and action regarding granting the opportunity to apply for an available Class B alcohol beverage license.
Thank you.
So some things to keep in mind, follow the policies. I gave you all copies of the policies again.
Did you, I didn't get one.
Oh, actually probably didn't hand them out when you.
You didn't.
I was like, what?
So I'm now handing them to you.
Okay.
12 meetings ago you did.
Yes.
I don't have that one either.
Every time we do these presentations, I do. But
Yes.
Thank you, Chuck.
So make sure you follow those policies. You're not required to grant a license just because one is available. You can wait if that's what you feel is best. There are technically 2 available. One of them is potentially in litigation. That doesn't mean you can't grant it, but there are potential problems if you do grant it to, in a way that the litigant is not involved in. But there is one that's definitely available. You also should always keep in mind that we do have a limited number of these licenses available, and we never know when they might come available. Sometimes a few of them come available, and sometimes we go a long time before one comes available. And of course, you may wish to ask the police department, and perhaps there's other departments that have interest in this as well, if they have any input on these things.
Okay. I'll ask that question. Officer Adams, does the police department have any input to any of these?
That might go to the mic. If you have anything to say.
Yeah, if you have a specific question, I guess
Yeah.
I don't have necessarily a general opinions.
Okay.
Do you have specific questions you'd like to ask me?
I don't, but, if you've had problems with any of these places or that you're aware of?
Well, most of them haven't opened. The only one that is currently open is at the gas station. I know the only issue we've had there has been, the gambling machines and stuff. That has been an issue, trying to address that. But that's something we've been dealing with in a lot of different places. I'm not aware that they're in any unique violation. It's kind of an ongoing issue with that. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really have any broad general comment.
Can you clarify, what do you mean by the gambling machines? What issue, what is the issue with the gambling
We've
machines?
been trying to work with, it's a very complicated issue that probably is beyond the scope of this.
Okay.
Of
Give us-
where the proliferation of
Give me a
gambling machines. Sorry?
2 sentences of what it means. I don't know.
Yes.
They're illegal, but it's almost impossible to enforce the law because they took enforcement away. So they're illegal, but enforcement is difficult.
The machines
Right.
are illegal, but enforcement of having the machines is difficult. Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Right. And I don't mean to suggest that they're in any kind of unique position with that.
Because I was like, there's a gambling machines in a lot of places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, depending on the type of establishment that it
Sure.
is, it becomes a little complicated.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not for him right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question for Chuck. So if we say we would grant a license, do we set the parameters of when they would need to sort of start to use the license, or?
You can put caveats as to granting, right? So
Okay.
you can tell them you have to apply within 10 days, it has to be open within that X amount of time. But then once the license is issued to them, then it becomes a property right, and the statutes and our ordinances are what they have to follow. And so then you have to go, you can't say, like, add something on top of that and
Got
say, we'll only grant it if you also do X, Y, and Z.
Okay,
Yeah, you can't take it away for those reasons.
got it.
So you can ask them to make a commitment, like, I heard Alder Decker ask, would you commit to being open 365? You can ask that, but if they change their mind, you can only take the license away for the rules that we have in place,
Got it. Okay,
or that we might come to change at some later date.
okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I got some
Alderperson
comments.
Decker?
Okay, well, we've got some tough ones here. This is another tough one. I really, one of them I can eliminate right away, and nothing against the people or anything like that. But I think the historic Masonic Lodge, it's not open to the public. That's really not gonna really impact our city, help our city, I don't think. So I think that's the first one I would eliminate right off the bat. I mean, that's pretty easy call. Nothing against the people out there, but I want to bring business into the city. I don't want to bring, I don't want to have I don't want to help a private club. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion on that one. I don't know how anyone else feels about that. I'm gonna tell you right now, the one that excites me the most is this Gulf 365. This to me is a no-brainer. I think this one has to get it. I mean, this really looks like I don't know if anybody else agrees with me or not, but this is the one I think that has to go of all of them for sure. And then I get then we work our way down from there, but I'm gonna make a motion to grant Gulf 365 the ability to apply for a license.
Great, I'll second that.
And I would just suggest that you add that something along the lines of to apply within 7 days of today.
Okay, and that they apply within 7 days and they're open, so, great.
Thank you, Chairman. So this is the one existing license we have. The other one that's in reserve, is that the one that's in litigation?
Yes. So you can easily grant one. The other one you can grant, but there are potential legal issues if you grant it.
Well, if we granted one to Mojo's, we would be granting him the one that's in litigation.
Right.
So then we still have one left.
Right, well, if you granted one to Mojo and there's, the motion in front of you is Gulf 365. But, but if the other one went to Mojo, that eliminates that problem, yes.
I didn't get a chance to ask my question before he made the motion. Thank you. Okay.
Any other discussion? Okay, this is for, Alderperson Decker's, motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Chair votes aye, motion passes. I personally would like to say that I was impressed with, let me see, Watershed Hotel, saying that, they've already, in a short amount of time, brought $13,000 to the city in tax money. That's what we're here for, We would like to have more businesses paying into that to help the city, so I was impressed with that, and I'm not gonna make a motion, but I would.
I guess I have a question for Chuck. When do we anticipate the litigation to be done?
I have to be careful how I answer some of that.
Okay.
Because there's potential strategy issues if the litigation continues. It's not, it can't, at some point, all the issues in the litigation do become moot. And I'll let you know when I feel that has happened.
Okay.
And then they could come back and reapply for another license if we use.
Regardless of what happens in the litigation, Mojo's is always welcome to come and apply. And you're always welcome to grant them the license if you feel they're the appropriate applicant. Because we're tied up in litigation, there is, let's just put it this way. The litigation does not prevent you from issuing a license to anybody, okay? You've made a decision to not re-up that license back in May because of the time period. If you're convinced that those issues have gone away, you may wish to issue that license, to give them the opportunity to apply for that license. If you're not convinced that those problems have gone away, then you have a couple of choices. One is you can hold off to see where the litigation goes. Another is you can say, frankly, we already made our decision not to re-up the license and we want to give it to somebody else. The potential issue there is that once you issue that license, it can't come back. The court can't even take it away from, let's say you were to give it to the hotel. The court wouldn't be able to come and take it away from the hotel, but potentially there would be an argument that you've taken a license that belonged to somebody else, given it to them, if they were to win the litigation, and given it to somebody else, and as a result of that cost them, dollars. That's a potential piece, and that's why you may want to consider at least letting it lay for a while if you don't want to grant it to Mojo's. If you want to grant it to Mojo's, in my opinion, that ends the litigation. I would file, if you granted it and they received it, I would immediately file a motion to dismiss.
Well, anyone else has got some thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts specifically on this, what Chuck
Okay.
was talking about. I did want to follow up with watershed.
Yes.
So do you have something specific to this, Dean?
No, I guess I was very impressed with her presentation also. I just want to
Yeah.
add those comments also to that, so.
Yeah, it does seem like you have a great model coming forward with rentals, and so something to, and this is just consideration, right, for the next upcoming operations budget, right, to consider, we do have licenses in reserve that you can pay a fee for. So with rentals coming through and you might see a bigger boost in business, it might be worth the adventure to go down that path to confirm a license for yourself, so.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Well,
I do like, the Watershed Hotel, and I would like to see them, increasing their business, which the license would help them do. They haven't been in business, I don't know, the whole year, were you?
yeah.
Okay, and that's the amount of time that, Mojo, we've held this license for Mojo for about 6 months. So the zero came into the city, for any taxes. Where at Watershed, they have brought money in, so, that's weighing heavily on me. Of course, we're paying for litigation
Yeah,
also,
yes.
aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to think about what's coming in. He is still
Yeah.
paying property taxes,
Yeah.
but not paying, but
And he
he
has a-
is not paying other, yeah.
And I didn't put property taxes.
Yeah, okay.
Because we still don't know it until the taxes end up this year.
One other question I guess I have for Chuck is there is anything on the horizon that you know of as far as other potential?
No,
No, okay. I do feel that, the gentleman from Mojo's has put the effort in, he's remodeling, he's putting money into the building. So that it does show me that he does want to reopen, that he, does have a commitment to doing that. I was disappointed in his business practices in the past. I just, the way it was run before as far as, and but when it was closed, I was disappointed in the fact that you were closed for long. I understand the pandemic, but afterwards even that it wasn't open, and I understand that. But I really would like to see this license being used the sooner the better, and get something going and get more income coming into the city. So I am going to make a motion to grant it to Mojo's.
Am I able to make a comment?
Sure.
Does anybody want a second?
Okay, the motion is you're going to grant the license to Mojo's?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion is to grant the ability to apply for the license
Yes.
to Mojo.
Yes.
and you should probably do the same thing as you did for the other one within 7 days.
Yes, within 7 days. We grant it within, it has to apply within 7 days.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Do you want to ask for some sort of commitment? Right, it's not a standard, but a sort of a general statement of a commitment to be open within a certain time. I mean, you're putting this forth, I just want to make sure you're thinking about what you're saying. Right.
Yeah, I don't know what the requirements, I would like to include that in my motion, if we.
So you can ask him for his commitment. He's answered to
Yes.
some extent that. You can ask him again if you'd like. But what you do have to recall is that once the license is issued, the only way you can pull a license is if they violate our rules. You can't add on top of that. So you may make the decision to grant to him based on your trust that he's going to follow through on that commitment. And you could make the decision not to based on your not trusting him to follow through on that commitment. But either way, once you've granted it, it's just the rules that you followed. You did ask, is it possible to change those rules? And the answer to that is yes, you can. You can look to shorten the amount of time that you can be closed before you lose the license.
And I don't know if this is a proper, we are gonna make a commitment to changing those rules, so.
We're obligated, we're gonna move forward as fast as we can.
So, okay.
Okay. All right, any more discussion?
Amanda's got a
I do.
question.
So just basically shown on previous management of this liquor license and how it was handled and what was presented to us in the previous meetings about sort of not being open and.
Because this isn't all that difficult a strategy to talk about. Once he receives the license and opens, I would file with the court a motion to dismiss for mootness.
Okay, thank you.
You would file to dismiss? Is that what you're saying?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
The court would have to grant that, and, Mr. Benelli probably has some say in that, but, not saying it would automatically be granted, but it does become a moot matter because we're fighting over a license that he
No, it's-
has.
Yeah, got it.
If that were to happen.
Okay. I'm lost. Where's the motion at?
The motion's made and seconded, so.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to grant it the ability to apply for
For
the
license,
license
yes.
in the next 7 days to Mojo's. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
I'm an aye. The ayes have it.
So.
Motion carried.
So both of you then who receive the opportunity, you should do that, by a week from today downstairs in the clerk's office. And that will enable it to come on to the next cycle for applications.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to recognize anybody in the,
Am I allowed to ask a follow-up question in general at this meeting?
Can she?
that's up to you.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
That one's on.
Oh, is she on?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, it's on. No, this one's not on.
Oh, there it is. All right, you're a go.
You're on.
Perfect, thank you. So the Watershed Partners have been in talks with the planning office, I think specifically with you.
Can you move the mic to
about
your,
building two.
can you move the mic over so we can hear you?
Of
Great.
course.
Thank you.
All right. So the Watershed Partners have been in talks with the planning office to build 2 more multi-million-dollar buildings and businesses in Sheboygan. What can we do next time around, I guess, to say, to hopefully get a liquor license quicker for those properties? Or why should we bring our business to Sheboygan after over a year of trying for a liquor license for our current property?
So I'm going to tell, you really shouldn't be answering the question as to how they can persuade you, because that's not appropriate.
Well-
What I can tell you, though, is that there are other options still out there. There is the reserve Class A license. There is another option out there, which is go talk to your legislators about the ridiculous rules that prevent us from doing economic development because there's this limit on liquor licenses. But
Okay.
that's out of our hands. The state has basically said that's the limit that you can do. And the Tavern League has a lot of power in this state and, and is trying to limit that. So, but that's,
And who would we talk to about lowering that? Because that $10,000 is a made-up number. Am I correct with that?
you would
That's
need
a
to
voted
talk to
on number?
you would need to talk to the legislature.
Is that you guys?
What happened is about 20 years ago, they passed that. They basically took away licenses from us.
Yes.
And turned them into $10,000 reserve licenses, meaning that we could no longer grant them like the ones that we granted today, and you
Yeah.
can only get them if you pay the $10,000. Then, we were very creative and we passed a rule, an economic development grant that basically said, we'll give you $9,500 back, the difference, if you're open for a year. And then the legislature took that away.
Yeah, because I was like, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well,
yeah.
we used to have a grant program, it was in our ordinances, and then the legislature took it away. They banned us from doing that. Part of the problem is because Madison came up with the idea, and when Madison and Milwaukee come up with ideas, the legislature turns them down.
Okay.
But what you need to do is talk to your legislature about basically rules that handcuff cities from doing what they want to do and doing economic development.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're right, it is, I'll agree with you that $10,000 cost is just a random cost that somebody came up with to basically protect certain types of businesses from competition. It's an anti-competition
Because we won't be making that profit for years to even think about spending that $10,000. But
There are some
liquor
other
sales?
options out there if you were building about size and capacity and those kinds of things, which there are some exceptions for larger capacity type venues as well, but you'd have to follow those rules too, and you don't meet that with this
yeah,
particular
and most of
venue.
the other ones we're planning are smaller
Yeah.
to fit in the property by the waterfront, but.
The other thing is there are probably one or two businesses out there that would qualify for those other kinds of licenses. Work out a deal
That
with
just don't do it?
work out a deal with one of them to go get one of those licenses and then offer to transfer their license to you.
And go from there? That is
There
possible.
may be ways to do that. It's complicated.
Are you allowed to tell us those? Not in this public meeting, but
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I think you'll have
Okay.
to do your own research on
Research.
that. Yeah.
all right, excellent, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to number 8, RO number 862223, by city clerk submitting various license applications.
So staff is recommending granting the license application of South Pier Hospitality Group. That's just the new owners of Anglers Avenue Pub and Grill. But we're also recommending holding the license application of Sheboygan Axe Bar LLC. That's an application for a second beer-only license for the Longhouse Axe Bar, and they've indicated to the clerk's office that their plans have changed, and so they need to have that held until they figure out what they're going to do.
Okay, I make a motion to grant the license for Anglers Avenue and hold the one for Sheboygan Axe Bar.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Chair votes aye. Motion passes. Number 9, next meeting date will be December 14th, 2022. I need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Okay, I'll remember. Then I'll make sure that, yeah.
Yeah, I have to work at home, but we have a light event and I can't.
She always tells me if you need me to jump online, I will. So, yeah, she's